You lived in Michigan your whole life too?
Yes, in Chicago. So you think I'd be cool with the code? No, no, we're still not friends.
This week we learned the magic of array lists, which are great because they can grow versus you setting where it's going to be at and that's it. We learned about inheritance with classes, and we also learned about feedback and how important it is, and that it's a gift given to you.
Cold. Didn't leave the house 3 days out the week. Got delivery for the first time in 7 years. Felt good.
The polar vortex has been fine. I mean, I've been like staying indoors and being cozy. So I don't really like the cold weather, even though I'm here in Michigan. But no, I've been staying in, staying warm. I've been making like the good like comfort food that you want, like chili. So I can't really argue too much about the vortex that we're getting.
It was a new experience. I actually had to change a flat tire during the polar vortex, so I got to experience the cold.
Polar vortex was crazy. It was just like there was a little bit of snow over the weekend, and then Monday it just started coming down, and you know the plows are a little inconsistent in Detroit, so public transportation was kind of rough. The roads were rough, so it was an experience. This is my first Detroit winter, and it didn't disappoint. I'll tell you that so far, it's not disappointing.
Pretty good. We got to work at home, which was really cool. It was something I've never experienced before. So it was a little hard to not get distracted by TV, like trashy MTV reality TV shows in Bravo. And then my dogs also were like confused why they couldn't go outside, and they really were just like, you're home, play with me, do something. So it was like balancing everything. So that was like different. I've never done that before.
Yeah, it's been interesting working from home, not seeing everyone's face.
I'm not a fan of the cold, so I was not too happy. I mean, what can you do? You live in Michigan, it comes with the territory. So
The polar vortex has treated me chilly, but it's been fine because I made sure to wear extra layers. So I'm rather toasty.
Absolutely freezing. This is my first Michigan winter, so not prepared.
In my opinion, this week, learning remotely has been absolutely great. Not that it's not great, you know, like learning in person, but I still felt connected. Like, even though that we weren't all in the same room together, I like reached out to as many people as possible. People reached out to me, and there was like this giant conversation that was going on every single day. And the pace that we set on ourselves was great too.
Doing remote lectures was kind of interesting. I had to like really train myself to like focus harder and like do work at home. It's a lot easier being productive around all you guys. But yeah, overall it wasn't too bad. Just weird week, not seeing everyone.
it went a lot smoother than I actually thought with the Google Hangouts, but that's technology for you. And then Slack. And it was kind of nice to work at my own pace and not quite have such a structured day, just to kind of spread the work out beyond the hours of 5 o'clock. And kind of take the breaks when I wanted to. But I did miss being in the classroom and seeing everybody's faces. So
Learning in a remote setting was different, but I made sure to keep myself on task by kind of planning out my day of what I was going to accomplish and trying my best to keep to that. I also made sure that I took time to kind of give my brain a break by like checking on the chili that I was making or play with the dogs or whatever.
Different. It was a lot of distractions going on in the house. It was hard to not watch TV and not do my work, but you know, eventually I got to a smooth workflow, was able to focus and get some work done.
To do it.
Yeah, I don't like to do it. It's
I
just
don't
too much going on.
It was pretty cool. Like they just kind of like got straight to the point with like our lesson for the day, and they're just like, here's your assignments, go ahead. But we did have like it was cool because we did have like more time to just like get things finished up. So now I have like 4 projects that I'm really.
It was a good experience. You know, they let us work remotely, so we got our lectures remotely, and I learned that I can effectively work from home, which was a nice realization. I don't think we'll be doing too much of that in the upcoming year, but yeah, it was fine.
I wouldn't say it was difficult, but it was different. It was not what I was used to, but it worked. I was actually shocked it worked because I'm not like a work at home kind of person. I could easily get distracted with my dogs or whatever's on television. So it was nice to be able to just dedicate that time where it's like, I gotta work on this stuff. I have to get online and listen to the lecture. So it was good.
It was good. I mean, I was feeling a little under the weather this week, so it was a bit challenging for that. So me being able to come in and interact with other people, that usually gives me a nice little boost. So working remotely was challenging because it's like you gotta stay focused on tasks. You can't let other things going on inside the house kind of get you bogged down from what you're trying to do. So, but it's always good to that they care enough to say, hey, don't come out in this weather. It's really cold. It's the roads are kind of bad. You guys be safe, and we do this remote thing. So that was great. That was a plus.
So there was a couple of like loops that we had to do in the assignments and versus me that I didn't understand, which is just the for each loops. And I was determined that like because I didn't understand this, I was gonna just keep jumping back into it until it felt more comfortable doing that. And that was the successful approach to me. So like this week was me stepping out of my comfort zone and just embracing everything that was coming towards me until it felt like it was my norm again. So
Inheritance was a unique concept. It took me a while to wrap my head around, but I think I was overthinking it really. And I reached out to Matt and I was like, for my assignment, I'm like, is this an acceptable solution? And he's like, yeah, totally. And I think I was just kind of let my head kind of drift away from the concept and think about how it would apply to like bigger ideas, and I kind of got lost in that for a little bit. So I had to pull it back and say, okay, for now this understanding will do, and the complexity will come with time. But yeah, it's okay to understand it on a basic level and then take it from there.
This week we learned a few different things. We learned about array list, inheritance, which is kind of a cool concept. And then a lot of it was catch up on assignments that were already assigned. But those were the 2 big things. I don't know, they're both pretty cool. I don't feel like I've mastered any of them. Like I still have more studying to do, but yeah, I don't know that I could pick. They're both useful. Like I'm excited to go back through some of my older stuff and kind of use the new stuff that we learned to refactor. So.
ArrayList was awesome because I was able to think of things that I could then refactor and be like, oh, I can use an ArrayList here. It'll make the code so much more efficient and easy. But it was nice to go over kind of a touch base on feedback as well, because it is something that's really important to utilize with a team.
Inheritance was my favorite lesson because that's the only one that I can remember right now. But yeah, that's my favorite lesson because it made me think the most. It made me sit down and actually like study and learn. So that was probably my favorite lesson.
I can't say I didn't have like a favorite lesson, but I had a favorite project that we worked on.
Okay.
We made a to-do list, and Jen kind of had like just the funny idea to make it like for the fire festival. So she's like, if you want, you could just make it like this. And I was like, I'm doing that. So I created my program to be a to-do list for the people that were putting together the fire festival. And like everything in our class right now, it's just like a running joke, is like about the fire festival. So it was great.
Yeah, today was a really good lecture Matt gave, just on what to expect when giving or receiving feedback and how to maybe, in both scenarios, kind of harness the most potential you can out of yourself to get the most out of the feedback. So.
What was your favorite lesson from this week?
This week would be today's, because we talked about feedback, about giving feedback, receiving feedback, which in theory I'm like, everyone is going to give feedback or receive feedback, but I really don't know how to give feedback because I start thinking about like, well, maybe I don't want to be too mean to the person, or is this mean, or should I soften this? So it was just nice trying to get some tips and guidance and knowing that feedback isn't a natural, easy thing that everybody can do.
I want to say the inheritance that, that there's this concept where you can create this one initial big thing and then say, hey, I can make smaller things out of this big thing that have this common denominator. So say you have animals, all animals have, whether they have a tail or not, or whether they have, well, of course, feet or not, you could start saying like certain things and then start saying, okay, this derives from this class. So I think that's a cool concept to learn, and kind of seeing all of our stuff get together, that's also really cool as well too.